Hi everyone, I'm Andrew Jordan. I announced I'm going to be driving for West Surrey Racing in the British Touring Car Championship with BMW. Well, we're here today. I'll give you a good insight at what goes on behind the scenes at the best team in the British Touring Car Championship. West Surrey Racing was started in 1981 by Dick Bennett. He's a bit of a legend if I'm honest, and there's a huge amount of history all through this workshop and in the offices later on. I'll show you some of that also. But it's trophy room, and this is pride of place. It's a double championship winning car for British Formula 3, which Dick Bennett was heavily involved with. Single seaters from the start, and then went into British Touring Car Championship I think in 1996 and started working with BMW back in 2007, so it's been a long and very successful relationship. For me, this is fantastic. It's really cool to walk into this workshop and see all this history, all these lovely, lovely trophies. Let's go through to where the guys get their hands dirty. We'll go first to the sub-assembly room. So this is where all the gearbox, diffs and dampers are looked after. The cars are completely stripped between races and race weekends, and a lot of it is preventative maintenance to try and get the reliability there, and the reliability is always very good and very key to putting a championship campaign together. So the design office is where a lot of plans are hatched, normally successful ones. It's from everything that happens in here, from the car being designed, engineering for race weekends coming up. After every test we have a debrief, and before events to come up with the setup and test plans, because it's very much, you can't just roll out with one setup on a car and expect to keep that on all weekend. You need to roll out with a car that's in the ballpark, but then you need to fine tune it and try different things. You can't stand still in touring cars, otherwise you end up going backwards. So it's really important to go to a race weekend with some good options of things to try to hopefully improve performance, but also be ready to adapt the car setup to the circuit conditions or the weather conditions. So a lot of thinking power goes on in here. It's a very important room in the workshop, because basically how the car rolls out from the ideas in this office will come across with how the car performs on circuit. So this is the setup room. Before the cars go off to the race events or a test, the cars get lifted onto this flat table, set all your wing angles, all your corner weights, your cambers, your tracking. The setup is so crucial, so if you have a successful weekend, it could well come from the base setup that the engineers have come up with and the technicians on the car have actually put on the car on this flat table. They'll then go into the truck and hopefully onto a race winning weekend. So we've seen the sub-assembly room, but this is where the majority of the work, or the bulk of the work, gets done, because this is where the cars are stored. So the cars have their own bays, and the guys have their own toolboxes, and under these cupboards is where all the spares go. But the cars will come back from an event, be wheeled out the truck into the bays, and then the mechanics descend on the car, stripping them as much as possible. You wouldn't believe between events how much is stripped off the cars. All the suspension, all the bodywork, a lot of the interior is stripped out, again checking for anything that might go wrong. Then the sub-assembly, which is the suspension, the diffs, the gearbox, that's then wheeled through to the sub-assembly room. The shells of the car stay here. It's always ongoing work. There'll always be something that needs doing extra than the normal prep, so it's full-on turnarounds, because the cars will come back, obviously they'll be in the workshop on Monday morning, but then the following week they'll be going on the Wednesday to shakedown before the event. So we do a shakedown because the cars are stripped so much, just to check everything's gone back together right, bed all our brakes, bed our clutching, ready for the race weekend. And hopefully we've seen I'll add some trophies into the trophy room, but maybe some up there as well. It looks stunning, really proud of how it looks. The blue chrome is fantastic. It's not the cheapest of material, but it looks absolutely spot on.